Lation.
30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. They can't take it to 10.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see Big Ben Roethlisberger, and the Pittsburgh Steelers as they'll square off against Tom Brady and the Super Bowl champion New England Patriots. With that, let's head on up to Foxborough. Standing by with the call at Gillette Stadium, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. All the success in New England over the last few decades, and this crowd has never been more enthusiastic. A moment ago, the Pats emerged from their locker room. They are set as they'll square off with Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, look, some might say that football is a young man's fancy, so to speak, but don't tell that to these two quarterbacks because they come in here with a lot, and I mean a lot, of NFL experience.
Hey, I like the young Turks. I like the Baker Mayfields. I like the Patrick Mahomes. I like the Lamar Jacksons. But I do like those grizzled veterans who know how to play the game, know how to run their team, and know how to handle difficult situations. Maybe I'm just showing my age, too.
They met here on the opening Thursday of 2015, and they're at it again here. The Steelers and Pats are underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers make their way out. The Killer Bees are no more. Only one remains, and that's their quarterback, number 7, Ben Roethlisberger. This is a guy who made a Pro Bowl in his second season, James Conner. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The veteran Jamie Collins there on the tackle. And let's take a look at the Steeler offense.
And now the spotlight falls on wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster because with the acrimonious departure of Antonio Brown to Oakland and Le'Veon Bell moving on to the New York Jets, he is truly the number 1 target for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Over to the right side, caught by Moncrief. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make.
And quick depth settings. Entering penalty game options is enter. Game style option is set to simulate and penalty. CPU player skill. Vision accessibility is select. Entering and controller vibration off. Entering settings screen. You have 8 options. Entering options screen settings.
3 and out. A real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. Now it's Roethlisberger. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. Edelman set to return. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Patriots take over. Tom Brady heading out, the recent birthday boy, though I guess we really can't call him a boy anymore.
But he does continue to play football with boyish enthusiasm.
There you go. Well said. He turned 42, though, back on August 2nd. Charles, you probably got some pretty good birthday gifts over the years, ties, cufflinks. Well, if you're Tom Brady, it's a little better. How about this for a birthday gift? 2-year contract extension on August 4th worth $70 million.
Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty good birthday
Not
gift.
bad.
And for him, well earned. And for New England, an absolute bargain getting him at $70 million. Remember, he said a couple years ago he wanted to play until he was 45 years old. We've seen no drop-off in his play. Won another Super Bowl last year. Yeah, I'd say he's well worth that investment.
Also, Charles, he and his wife recently listed their house for a cool $39 million if you're in the market.
Yeah, the best part is he told the fans, don't read anything into it, because obviously they live in the area where the Patriots play, and everybody's like, they're selling the house. What does that mean for Tom Brady? He's like, I'm selling the house. That's it. Don't worry about it.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now Brady. Wide open receiver complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 16 yards, a first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
Now a first down carry. It's Michel. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Now the starting defensive unit here for Pittsburgh.
Bud Dupree came out of the University of Kentucky determined to let everyone know that they play football there as well as basketball. A terrific pass rusher off the edge.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
I got you.
Here's Brady. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. To throw is Brady. He wants it all for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
The Patriots send out their punter. Back deep for the Steelers, Ryan Switzer. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Football going over to the Pittsburgh Steelers here, and you think about 2019 coming up. The Killer Bees, it's now just down to the Killer Bees, singular, because you got Le'Veon Bell, he's in New York, Antonio Brown in Oakland, and Ben Roethlisberger, he's the one that's left, Charles.
I keep hearing from my scouts around the league that Ben Roethlisberger's having a heck of a camp. It's a lot quieter in Pittsburgh, as you might imagine, right? A lot of the hubbub has died down, but he's playing well. And we saw last year James Conner filled in quite capably, went to the Pro Bowl in Le'Veon Bell's stead. And Juju Smith-Schuster, he was the number 2 receiver for Pittsburgh last year. Now he has to become the number 1 with Antonio Brown in Oakland. We'll see how he handles that, but the talent is there. And I love Jalen Samuels, a hybrid-type player out of the backfield in the slot. Dante Moncrief and James Washington have to make the biggest jumps out on the perimeter in order for Pittsburgh to still operate as they have on offense.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. 20, 10, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Juju Smith-Schuster, 68 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Chris
Entering options screen settings. Accessibility is select and controller vibration option is set to entering settings screen. You have 8 options. Entering options screen settings.
Extra point put through by Boswell, and that makes the score 7-0. So the drive there, they went 80 yards in 3 plays, and it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35 and make it the 40-yard line.
Well, you gave up the first touchdown of the game, but how about the response? Big-time return. Now it's their chance to try and put points on the board.
The Patriots ready to go on their next drive, and it'll be another interesting season for the Super Bowl champs. You look at the pass catching for this offense, Charles. It's a unit somewhat in flux, but there are signs of optimism coming out of Patriots camp.
Yeah, just think about it. You mentioned in flux, right? Okay, that means no Gronk, but they did spend a number 1 pick on wide receiver N'Keal Harry out of Arizona State. They love his range and his catch radius. But how about this guy's been turning some heads in camp? A rookie out of NC State, undrafted even though he was high on a lot of people's lists. Jacoby Myers, another big body, strong receiver who's been making plays for Tom Brady.
Yeah, he announced his presence in a big way preseason game number 1 with 2 touchdown catches. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Brady. Caught on the right side by Dorsett. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
They'll run with a former Super Bowl hero. It's James White. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter from Foxborough. It's the homestanding Patriots with the football. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. The Patriots send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at the 20. They start the drive with Connor, and he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And now this throw complete to Washington. 7 yards there and a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now Roethlisberger. Open man right side of Smith-Schuster, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down. Juju, there's definitely a positive spirit about that man. You know, he was, I know you know this story, but he was asked in training camp by a fan to sign his head next to a tattooed Steelers logo.
Not a piece of paper on his head.
No.
Sign
his head. And then later Juju told reporters he'd give game tickets to that fan if he got it tattooed. Well, he did. And Juju came through with not only game tickets, but season tickets for the fan.
Well, there is a positive spirit about him, as you said. He does give good juju out there, and the fans feel it. In fact, at another practice session, he took part in a gender reveal because the fans asked him, hey, can you come over and help us out with this? He said, sure. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's a boy.
Black 30.
It's our time. It's our time.
From midfield now, here's Roethlisberger. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Here's Jordan Berry now. He'll boot it away from about his 35.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They've had it twice. They punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Brady and the Patriots now 1st and 10 at their own 16. The drive starts with a run by White, and that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Brady. He'll rifle this one deep right. He's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It's a gain of 35. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. First down, here's White. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. On 2nd and 12, Brady, slant route, caught by Edelman. 12 yards there and a first down. Now, how many times have we seen that? 3rd down, and Tom Brady turning to old reliable Julian Edelman. There's no Rob Gronkowski now. Edelman, the main holdover, the 33-year-old who was the Super Bowl MVP last season. Brady deferring to White on the draw. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
The Patriots into the red zone for the first time. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. They go right back to White here on first down. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Brady now to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Throwing now is Brady. The quick slant caught. And Gordon will work his way in for a Patriots touchdown.
You got it. You got it.
A 9-yard touchdown grab as they are now on the board here in the first half. And a little time left on the clock, so on the other side, they're thinking, gosh, we'd like to get that lead right back.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Here I am, go ahead and tapping out the first half.
Well,
there's still time. They've got to make a decision about what they want to do on the kickoff, whether they want to let their return guy touch it.
Now Steven Gostkowski on for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it ends with a New England touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And we're under a minute to go here. What's been an even first half, all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. A couple completions, you string them together. Could get into field goal range. Let's see what happens.
Like 80. Heavy on the edges. Heavy on the edges.
Throwing now. Roethlisberger on first down. Completes it to Moncrief left side. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And complete to Moncrief over the middle. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Here's Roethlisberger. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. Dante Hightower coming in for the sack from his linebacker spot. And, partner, it's safe to say that the secondary really contributed to that sack.
Yeah, nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They covered everything. Nowhere to go with the football. But my question is, why didn't he throw it away?
And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs. Final play of the half. It's Roethlisberger. And a throw there going to be incomplete. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach!
We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. But they are all even to this point. So to see if either side can pull away, let's get you right back out to Brandon and Charles for the start of the second half.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set and ready to go for the second half. 1 touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. So Brady and the Pats take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They start the second half with Michel on the ground. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Looking to throw on second down. Brady. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
Throwing is Brady on third down. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
The Patriots send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half?
Entering options screen settings.
And you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
On 2nd and 9, Roethlisberger. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you say, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And McDonald here over the middle. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. They'll get 13 yards for the 2nd play in a row.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
20. Here we go. Double time. Three down.
And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played. And he goes down. It's a Patriots sack. The sack by Michael Bennett, the native of tiny Independence, Louisiana.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. And now Edelman. Great coverage there. Holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Brady and the Patriots now 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll try to get this offense going with Michelle. Oh, he's got some breathing room and still fighting. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big-time run there by Sony Michel. And even 50 yards on the ground. Now, this game's ripe for the taking, and that run, I think it means he wants to take it.
Not only does he want to take it, he doesn't care what they're going to do on the defensive side of the ball. You can be prepared for him. He's coming at you anyway.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Brady gives this to White. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. To throw, it's Brady. And that'll be incomplete. Josh Gordon, the intended receiver. But now it'll be 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Shotgun now for Brady. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So now on 4th down, on comes Stephen Gostkowski to try and get the Pats 3. This will be a 37-yard attempt. And the 13-year man puts it through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no wind. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes Ben Roethlisberger and the Steeler offense back onto the field. How do you break down his game so far? Just the one touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Well, let's have some fun while we have a minute here. Fantasy drafts are in full swing. I know I've got my family fantasy draft coming up, Charles. Who would be your top 3 picks? I know that you're a noted fantasy football expert, so who would you take?
Well, you've got to start with guys who are going to touch the football and put it in the end zone, right? You got to score points. How about Saquon Barkley with the Giants? You know he's going to run it. He's going to catch it. When they get desperate, they may actually have him return it as well. Alvin Kamara is an absolute matchup nightmare for everyone. And Christian McCaffrey, did he ever come off the field last year?
Here we go.
And, you know, this guy, he's a threat to be a 1,000-yard runner and a 1,000-yard receiver, as is Kamara. So this is going to be fun to watch. I can't wait to see those guys do their thing. But there are plenty of other guys out there, too. If Zeke comes along, you got to take him. Melvin Gordon, if they both come to camp, we'll see how that works out. How about Todd Gurley and his health? Because, boy, when he touches the ball, great things usually happen.
And then wondering, someone like Le'Veon Bell took the year off, now a new offense. But if he starts going like he used to, he's obviously going to be a good one.
Fresh legs is what you're counting on with Le'Veon Bell, and a fresh start in New York with the Jets. And if you're looking for an exciting rookie, remember this. Kyler Murray's going to get the ball from the first snap, and they're going to leave him in there throughout. And as long as he stays healthy, he's going to pitch it around the park a bunch. Don't be surprised if he gets a little love, too.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Taking it about the 16. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to air one out. And this is caught at the 20. A big play there for New England. 56 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Running out of the gun with White. And a fast footwork by White. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, 1st and goal. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll run for it. This is White. And he is in. Touchdown, New England. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
The point after try for Gostkowski. It's good to make it 17-7. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep him warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. To throw here, Roethlisberger. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 40. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
From their own 40 to the other 40. The gain of 20 leads to 1st and 10. Now Roethlisberger to throw. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by Jason McCourty. 30. Past the 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Patriot defense has a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Gostkowski for the point after. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6, obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
He's not going to get me.
Ben leaves to counter on the draw. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
All right now, 180.
Gotta do better. Come on, QB, come on.
On 2nd and 11 now. Roethlisberger able to hit his tight end, Grimble. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Now whistles here before the snap, but it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved. So that'll back him up 5.
Still 4th down.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. The Steelers will go. It's Roethlisberger. He's going to wind up and air it out. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Patriots take over. They're going to have terrific field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
29, Alpha.
Tackle.
They'll run on 1st down. Michelle, 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the Steelers' 23-yard line.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Patriots with the football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage with a penalty flag down. This might push him back further. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Set, 380.
Here we go, D. All day. Defense, all day. All day.
Check it.
Following the penalty, Michelle finding room to the 20. And he'll finally be taken down at the 18. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now Michelle. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Cameron Hayward in on the tackle. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Brady now going to leave it with Michel on the draw. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
New England on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11.
We got 4. We got 4.
Brady going to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So this will wind up a victory for the New England Patriots. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but second, third, and fourth quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you're going to win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time, and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that, and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Patriots winners here at home as we say so long from Foxborough.